Brennan said that he and Emily are not a match.
No kidding. Like that was some earth-shattering revelation that he decided to drop on us. Welcome to Cliff Alerts. Today we're going to be talking about Lifetime Network's reality-based TV series, Married at First Sight, season number 17, Reunion Part 1.
Emily and Brennan are having a conversation with the host, Kevin Frazier. Brennan said that he and Emily were not a match. They had different lifestyles. And because of that, he didn't trust the process or the experts.
Let me say this. It doesn't really matter what he didn't trust as it relates to experts. He was lying from the beginning.
Okay? Yeah, he was.
He was lying from the beginning.
He was lying on his audition tape.
Exactly.
As far as I can remember, every time an expert show up at his door, they recommended stuff that he can do.
Activities.
And
he knew he wasn't going to do it.
He knew he was not going to do it until they left. He told her what he was going to do.
But it didn't stop him. It didn't stop
at every
him from
point.
Pretending.
Emily asked whether he didn't trust the process or he didn't try. And he says Emily's a great person, and she cut him off. She said he signed up for the process and all he did was deflect from what was happening.
Yeah, because he was trying to protect how she might feel, Emily might feel, in the event that he decided to tell her the truth, right?
Correct. And that anything negative that she said, he punished her.
This is all cover for how foolish he acted, all cover for how untruthful he was, all cover for how disingenuous he was in terms of his behavior, his word of mouth, and his actions, and his agenda.
Emily signed up for this kind of stuff as well. So she was hoping to get a different outcome. They would conspire as to what would be seen on camera. She has a whole lot of fire and heat. If she knew who she was as a human being and he came up with this or they decided to do this, she should have told him no. Just like Kevin when he met with a woman, why are you guys signing up for this? Why didn't you speak up and say this is not what I'm about and this is not what I'm gonna do.
Right, aren't we supposed to all be grown women?
Right. But she signed up. So I don't know if she was bamboozled by him. She wanted a relationship. She's never been in a serious one before. They actually conspired with all this to get clicks, to get subscribers to their channel, to have some sort of financial windfall as a result of their participation. It was about everything else than a relationship. So again, why is she hyper focused on a relationship with him when everything was about viewership and everything else?
And we've said this before. He was overly concerned with optics. Okay.
Yes.
But you know who made the optics bad for him? Himself.
Of course.
He wasn't anticipating the fact that when he threw fakeness out there and rode on and that boomerang, that fake boomerang out, it was going to come right back and hit him.
Right, because what these people don't understand is they're not writers. They can't write as well as people who have been doing it for a living.
Right.
They're not producers, so the stuff they gotta come up with lies, and they can't be consistent with the lies because it's hard to remember a lie that you just told 5 minutes ago. So unless they were reading from a script because they had meetings after the fact where they would determine what they would show on camera and what not. And he was managing her, basically erasing or telling her to erase any diary cams that she may have. And as a result, she felt like he was trying to control and manipulate her. But that was part of the process.
Exactly.
Their process.
Exactly. So they were trying to control in the way of the narrative.
Their process manifested a lot of toxic behavior that one or both of them could not deal with. And it seemed like he didn't spend a whole lot of time with her.
From his vantage point, for them two apart, was this whole rumor notion about him going on a double date with Pam.
That was nonsense. That was nonsense. While that may be salacious about them going on a double date, if the man is not spending the night with her and there's a pretense that, they're supposed to be married and connected and he's spending time at his house, because that's what she said was happening.
Right.
Why it would be outside the realm of things that he's going to be committed to her.
Right. I mean, I can think of a couple of different occasions where he that was challenged. He didn't want to admit to as much, but grown folks can kind of see through his nonsense and be able to say he's not committed to her. When Pastor Cal came over to their apartment and showed him the tape, said, "Is that the guy you married?" She was like, "No, he's not."
But she was part of the conspiracy.
She
He
was.
mentioned that she wrote about 10 nice things about him, about what he was doing, which was a fugazi.
Right. It was all for the
That's why
camera.
for him it was crickets.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But she was down with the assignment.
Mm-hmm.
So she came up with all these nice things about him.
Mm-hmm.
But she knew or had to have known that he is presenting a fake self.
Right.
So everything that I'm saying about him that I witnessed is going to be fake as well.
Right, and also too, I think even before then, that interaction with Dr. Pia and obviously Brennan and Emily, where she asked her a question, she being Dr. Pia, and he wouldn't let her answer.
Right.
He said, "Well, I'll answer for us." Okay, trying to control the narrative.
Right.
I was like, Pia checked him.
And this is when they decided that they're going to change and try to present the truth.
Right.
But by that time, it was too late.
Way too late.
There wasn't any relationship to grasp because they were presenting a full relationship.
Any suggestion that it would come out of his mouth or his anal extremity about how he did his best is a bunch of you know what.
And then he said his parents didn't raise him to be a cruel person. And she told him, well, he certainly was cruel to her with how he spoke to her. Now, we did witness how he spoke to her on the honeymoon when he just got out of pocket and started to talk to her sideways. This stands to reason that he's going to get out of the pocket with her when the cameras are not rolling.
Exactly. Because that's when he's going to be
Really?
a lot more likely to be his authentic self.
Exactly.
And it's not going to match up in any way, shape, or form with who he presents on camera.
So I don't know where she decided that this man is going to be the love of her life.
Or something that she might be able to, make a go of it in terms of making this a viable marriage.
After the accident, he showed her a different side, and she had a hope that that was the more authentic person.
But that was on camera.
That's fantasy land.
On
So I just think the lot of them, with the exception of Chloe, and Chloe had her issues as well. They were involved in some fugazi, got confused about the assignment,
Okay.
and attached some real feelings to someone who was all about fugazi, and then blamed them for not having a real or authentic relationship.
Right, for that
it wasn't about a relationship.
Right, for that hope to have
They knew it wasn't about a relationship. So,
but they get on camera claim that that was an option.
So, are you accustomed lying to yourself? Is that how you spend your life? Lying to yourself? Is that it?
There's no room to be pointing her finger at Brennan.
None at all.
Because from what I understand, she may have violated the vows of her marriage by kissing up on somebody else and all that before they were even divorced.
I notice we have not heard about that yet.
Oh, it's been crickets. You have to be first what you expect to attract to you.
I recognize that the accident must have been traumatic, and she wanted to lean on someone.
That part was.
She had hoped that Brennan would be it.
Right.
From the core, he showed you who he was. And maybe he'll take a pause from that personality for a moment, deceive themselves with a lie.
Yep. And the reason why is because they don't want to accept facts. Truth is not respecters of people.